your chances of being killed by police are 1 in millions. Your chances of being killed by the police as a homeless person is 1 in, well, less than 2,000. That is so screwed up. You are far more likely to be killed by a police officer as a homeless person than as a black man. By a lot. Meanwhile, the majority of the statistics that BLM is using came from homeless black men. When it comes to fighting for the rights of black men who have been abused, however, it's always the ones in houses, ain't it? They want to take the numbers but not recognize the peoples. These homeless black people are apparently not black to BLM. Only their numbers are black enough. Because once you become homeless, of course, everybody in America knows that you must deserve it. Whatever group you happen to belong to before, you're no longer a part of that group. You were black before you were homeless, but now you're homeless, so you can't be black. You was Christian before you were homeless, but now you're homeless, so you can't be Christian. You were a man before you were homeless, but now you're homeless, so you can't be a man. Real men don't end up homeless. Real men just take it. Real men just take the abuse and take care of their families. What if you ain't got a family? So here's how they kill the homeless. By ignoring us. By spending hundreds of thousands of dollars when we try to turn in our predators. The United States government and its employees spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars apiece to prevent us from turning them in. That's your tax dollars being used to prevent the victims from turning in their predators, and most of these predators are with law enforcement. Oh, here's something Mobley would love if he was still alive. Heart-shaped rock. All right. So, when you tell them about the issues that you have, most of them ain't gonna listen. They're just gonna talk over you. Now, the lady at Tides of Change does that same as everybody else does. It's a bad habit, and it's actually something these folks are trained not to do. But you know how it is. Regardless of what you say, they got their own personal opinions, and although in many cases, kind of like when you got somebody from the KKK who works for the Department of Health and Human Services. Yeah, he ain't gonna advertise that he works for the KKK. He ain't gonna advertise that he don't like black people or Jews. He's there to work. And if he holds a particular bias against Jews or black folks, well, when he's at work, he knows he needs to keep it under wraps. That's why they wear them hoods. Keep it under wraps. Now, that's not saying that this lady is a neo-Nazi or with the KKK. It's saying that we all hold bias, and none of these people are taking it as seriously as they need to. When they speak to me, it's more like they're bored. Like, oh, Jesus, fuck. Another fucking homeless coming in here, fucking making me do stuff. They take the money, so they have to do something. But is it the job that they're supposed to do? See, between the first time I went to the lady at Tides of Change and now, a lot has happened. A lot of safety issues have been brought up, and they need to be reviewed. They need to be looked at. Now, this lady is supposed to be an advocate, but how can she advocate if she doesn't look at what's going on? If she's not going to understand or even try to understand what I have to go through as a result of it. If she, like that officer, is going to tell me, how it is in a situation they weren't there for and haven't looked at any of the evidence. Well, you're not making me feel like you're going to fucking help me at all. Matter of fact, you're making me feel unsafe and making me feel as if you are only going to assist my predators in doing what it is that they've been doing. Wanting to trust you and being capable of trusting you are two very different things. Wanting to trust you, well, that's how I am with everybody. I want to trust you. Willing to trust you? Abso-fucking-lutely not. That's based on your behaviors and your decisions. If I'm telling you about abuse and 6 months down the road you're still beating a dead fucking horse about housing, and we still haven't turned in any of the abuse that I'm enduring, and I'm still having to endure more, and every time it happens and I come to you, you've got some excuse that you can't fucking do anything. Man, we got a major issue. With Megan Misigatis, that was a very, very major issue. Same thing with Marcia Estrada and Penny Cooper. I'd go to them when something happened, and there's excuse after excuse after excuse. Somebody's sick, somebody can't make it, somebody's got a family emergency. There's always something. But then I get treated like I'm not trying because none of these people ever actually followed the fuck through. Doesn't matter how much paperwork we fill out if you don't turn it in. You know? It doesn't matter how many calls you made if you don't fucking write it down and turn it the fuck in. That's the thing, if you're not speaking up, if you're not writing it down, if you are not actively involved, you're not helping. So when you got a homeless person, you just call them mentally ill or say that they're lazy, tell them to get a job. You don't care about them. You just want to have somebody that you can victimize. You don't give a fuck about their back injuries. You don't give a fuck about the hell that they have had to go through for trying to turn in actual fucking predators. You don't care that they're out there because they were victimized to that point. You say they chose it. I want you to go ask one of them little girls who's out there on the streets because her daddy wouldn't stop raping her. And nobody would do a goddamn thing about it except lock her up and put her on drugs for cutting on herself. You did this. You did this. You made the excuses. You looked the other way. You spread the slander. You teach the bias. You are the hate mongers that you pretend that we are. You are the horrible monsters that you pretend us to be. Well, I don't subscribe to your bullshit and I call it out where I see it. It's not my job to be your conscience. It is my job to prevent you from hurting my loved ones. Even if those loved ones did fucked up shit, that doesn't mean I don't still love them. Yeah, my little sister did fucked up shit, but she's still my sister. Natalie Bollinger did fucked up shit, but she still saved my life. You know, we get sent from one service to another, to another, to another, to another. And we're denied every one of them. And then we're told that we didn't try because we had to go in by ourselves. You see how hard it was to try to get a homeless person in Hood River to actually help out? They just wanted to bitch. I don't like bitches. If all you're gonna do is bitch, shut the fuck up. I ain't your goddamn peanut gallery. You gonna fucking speak up in court? No? Didn't fucking think so. Shut the fuck up. I'm the one out here actually doing something. When you guys want to be angry at me and tell me how I have to forgive junkies, how they can't fucking help themselves and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? I'm the motherfucker out here actually helping them while you're running your goddamn mouth. Shut your goddamn mouth. When I see you out here doing something, see you with my own two eyes actually getting off your fucking ass, the story would be a bit different, won't it? We got exposure. Right now we got people here in Oregon trying to make laws. They got my loved ones in Boulder killed. Like the urban camping. No blankets. That's what killed Benjamin Harvey. Yeah. If the people of Oregon are going to allow that law to be passed, the people of Oregon all deserve to have their entire fucking state burned to the ground. That is absolutely what they fucking deserve. You don't want it fucking happening to you, but you're fine with it happening to somebody else? You'll spend $250 million a year here in Oregon to help the homeless, and they're all still fucking homeless after years and years and years. We got all these fucking addicts out here making it worse for all of us. And then we got people like me who are actually trying to help them out, but you guys don't see that. You guys just hear the word junkie and want to assume. Shit, my mom's a fucking junkie. I'm used to junkies. Normal people don't accept different people. And when you're autistic and you have Tourette syndrome, you are different. There's a lot of people who say to me, "Oh, Sean, I didn't know you had Tourette syndrome." Well, that's because I'm good at fucking hiding it. But it takes a lot of effort to do that. The police kill us by changing the subject when we try to turn stuff in. Telling us it's not their job, it's somebody else's, and that somebody else tells us it's somebody else's. Nobody ever tries to collect evidence when you're fucking homeless, and nobody bothers to speak up. That lady at Tides of Change, she wasn't going to speak up. She's not even willing to look at fucking evidence. What the hell is she going to speak up about? But that's plausible deniability. That's what every single one of these, what do you call them, mandated reporters want to pull. Oh, well, you know, if I didn't look at evidence, then nothing happened. No. According to the law, the fact that I told you is enough. The fact that I told you was enough for you to do something, for you to be mandated and mandatorily do something. You say it's just as illegal to rape somebody who's schizophrenic as it is to rape anybody else. But then again, you're not going to listen to somebody who's schizophrenic. And if you're the rapist, well, you're going to play on that and prey on that, aren't you? All police officers are predatory. Every single one of them. You will never, ever meet a police officer who is not predatory. It does not fucking exist. Their job requires it. With the level of police corruption nationwide, you cannot be a police officer and be a fucking Boy Scout at the same time. That's one of those situations where you have to pick sides. For those of you Christians, do you work for God or do you work for the other guy? We got wannabe Christians like William Barr who wanted to give it to God, give it to God, give it to God. While I'm being abused, he wants me to give it to God. While he is aware of situations with Natalie Bollinger, he wants me to give it to God. While I'm being abused and reaching out for help, he wants me to give it to God. Someone should have been there through all of this. There should have been a caseworker making these fucking calls with me. And nobody ever did that. Nobody ever tried that. Instead, they got 400 goddamn hoops they want me to jump through. Oh, well, if you jump through 6 months of housing hoops, then we can turn in your predators. Really? Really? Because after I finally got housing, not once but twice, after Natalie was killed, everybody forgot about the fact that I had to jump through those hoops to stop abuse that was still ongoing. Meanwhile, none of these people would look at the abuse. They want me to jump through the hoops. They won't look at why I'm having to jump through these fucking hoops. They'll listen to me somewhat, telling them what's going on, but even if I've got the evidence right there in person to show them in person, like today, man, I need a place to sit down with my fucking evidence. Yes, I have the fucking evidence. I need a place to sit down and fucking go through it. Telling me to go to the fucking library over and over and over again. I've been to the fucking library over and over and over again. It's just me. Nobody helping me to turn this in. Nobody fucking looking at it. Every one of you being the same goddamn pieces of shit. You're killing us too. The police kill us by slandering us all, like they did in Hood River. Starting shit, and then, of course, slandering their victims. And every homeless person has to worry about this, regardless of skin color and regardless of gender. At least if you're a woman, you're a lot less likely to get fucking murdered by the cops. We've also seen, however, that a police officer can shoot a pregnant woman right in her stomach 3 times. And we don't make nearly as big of a deal about that as we do about, what? Still trying to play like Sean Schwartz is a fucking stalker, you fucking pieces of shit? Go fuck yourself. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Oh, yeah. And the miles and miles and miles of walking. All these free resources you think are free. Oh, you can get in your car and you can drive down and get something to eat real quick, can't you? Of course you can. For you, if you need to work on your court shit, you've got your computer already set up. It's already in your fucking house. You don't have to fucking go anywhere. When you're hungry, you go to the fucking fridge and you get some fucking food out of the goddamn fridge and you fucking cook it and you fucking eat it. You got a place where you can put your fucking milk. You got a place where you can put your computer. You got fucking outlet. You got access to all that shit right there. You don't have to fucking fight through years of fucking bullshit to try to get that stuff that is required for fucking defending yourself. It was never, ever innocent until proven guilty with me. My guilt was assumed. And I was abused until, of course, it was proven that I was innocent. And even then, they wanted to continue the abuse to prevent me from turning it in. Pressing false charges against us so we can't turn them in when they fuck up. Police officers and police agencies knowingly, willingly, and intelligently forcing the victims to literally go to their predators to turn in their predators. It was never appropriate for the Nebraska State Patrol to make me go to Scott DaCosta for anything after I tried to turn him in. Instead, they made me go to him for everything, telling me it's not their job to police the police. I had to turn it in to Scott DaCosta over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. I called who I was told to, and then I was victimized for making those fucking calls. Fuck the United States and everyone in it. If this is what you support, you Nazi pieces of shit.